In this video, I wanted to share my thoughts on the modern Doom trilogy, and at the end give my own personal ranking of the games. I just recently finished Doom the Dark Ages about a month and a half ago now, and Eternal just before that. Keep in mind this is just my own opinion of the games, and I won't be taking into account the Ancient Gods DLC for Doom Eternal, as I haven't played it yet. So without further ado, let's get started with the game that revitalized the Doom series, Doom 2016. When this game first released, I wasn't all too familiar with the Doom franchise. The only way I knew about it was having watched my dad play the original Doom game. Even so, I was pretty excited to see the series come back, because I understood just how important the first game was to the first-person shooter genre. And Doom 2016 in a lot of ways plays like an older FPS game, but it mixes in a few elements that helped make it feel new. The combat loop is incredibly well done in this game. It's important to always stay on the move and constantly be attacking while also avoiding the enemy attacks. After an enemy has sustained enough damage, you're given the opening to perform a glory kill, which in turn will reward you with some health pickups. The chainsaw is another useful tool, as using it to kill an enemy will cause them to drop more ammunition. One thing that Doom 2016 excels at is atmosphere, and the graphical style definitely helps with that. The demons' designs here are meant to be terrifying, and it definitely shows. While I had originally played the game many years ago closer to release, I went back after finishing the Dark Ages and played a portion of the game just to make sure it was still kind of fresh on my mind. While later entries in the series took the formula of this game and improved and expanded on it, I can definitely still say that this game is worth playing. It's not as fast-paced as Eternal, but it's still got enough variety to keep the gameplay interesting. In this game, you have been awakened in a facility on the surface of Mars, where humanity was trying to harness demonic energy for the betterment of mankind. Of course, it goes horribly wrong, and the demon forces are unleashed on the facility, and you must restore power and clear out the threat. Doom Eternal is a game that I'd started a few times, but never got super far into the game. After Dark Ages released, I sat down and took the time to actually play through the entire game, and Doom Eternal takes the combat loop of the 2016 Doom and adds to it in many ways. In this game, not only do you still have to perform glory kills, but now you have the addition of the flamethrower, which causes enemies to drop armor plates. It's much more vital this time around to utilize your full arsenal, making sure you always have health, armor, and ammunition. Weapons this time around seem to have a much more dedicated use, as they can be used to target weak points on enemies. This makes sure that you're constantly swapping weapons, and each weapon typically gets used in each encounter. One example of a weak point is firing a grenade launcher of your shotgun into a Cacodemon's mouth to be able to get like an instant glory kill opportunity. Another major addition of the combat in this game is the meat hook attachment for your super shotgun. It allows you to latch on and pull yourself to enemies just pretty much like a grappling hook, and you can get closer to the enemies and be more in firing range. This time around, the demons' designs are based more closely to what they looked like in the classic Doom games, so it's a bit more cartoonish and less realistic and vicious looking, like they were in Doom 2016. I, for one, am okay with this decision, though, because it's a cool callback, and I think it also kind of just helps to continue the style set by the original Doom games. And in Doom Eternal, the demon forces have made it to Earth, so the Doomslayer is again the only hope for humanity. The story here expands on the lore in a great way and also helps to connect to the original Doom games, which confirms that Doom 1 and 2 are indeed canon. I was extremely hyped for Doom the Dark Ages. Whoever's idea it was to give Doomslayer a fur cape and have this game be set in a more medieval setting is an absolute genius. It works incredibly well here and really helps to make the game stand out. This time around, the combat takes a different approach from Eternal, which did upset some people, but let's be clear here, this is still very much a Doom game. This time around, you have a shield at your disposal to block and parry attacks. You can also use the shield as a projectile and throw it at enemies. While Doom Eternal was insanely fast-paced, the combat here feels slower and more deliberate. Each attack has a powerful weight to it, and it's incredibly satisfying that really shows the raw strength of the Doomslayer. Something as simple as even landing on the ground from a height will send like a shockwave of damage to your enemies. While a few familiar weapons do return in this game, most of them are entirely new and extremely creative. These weapons range from the Impaler that launches a large spike to the Pulverizer, which grinds up and fires skull shards, which is a super creative weapon and super cool and as ammunition, you know, using those skulls. Apart from the combat changes, there are some entirely new gameplay sections. Some missions will have you flying on the around on the back of a dragon, and other ones you'll pilot a massive mech and duke it out with some giant demons in hand-to-hand combat. And occasionally you will get like a Gatling gun as the giant mech. It's nice to add some of those sections to make it kind of, you know, it's cool to have those extra gameplay styles here. So as opposed to being a direct sequel to Doom Eternal, The Dark Ages is actually a prequel set before Doom 2016. And in this game, the demonic prince Azrak is looking to steal the heart of Argent to become just insanely powerful and rule the forces of hell pretty much. And as the Doom Slayer, you must not only stop him, but battle to regain control of your own mind from the Creed Maker. So at the end of the day, it is super hard to come up with a ranking of these games. They all offer something that makes them worth going back to. So I definitely think they're all just worth playing. But at number 3, I have Doom 2016. I have so much respect for what they did with this game, but the following 2 games I think just improved upon, you know, the gameplay in so many ways. And at number 2, it's going to be a bit controversial, but I have Doom Eternal. You know, I did really enjoy this game, of course more than 2016, but toward the end it felt a bit repetitive, and at times it was just kind of frustrating, always constantly trying to be refilling your health and shields, you know, just making sure those are always fine and ready to go. But it definitely has the best soundtrack of the 3, hands down. So my number 1 pick is, of course, Doom the Dark Ages. I definitely prefer the gameplay style of this one to Eternal and 2016. I think the setting alone is also a huge factor for me. Super cool locations and a great story. This one kind of goes more in depth in the story, I feel like, than the other 2, which isn't always required, but it is cool, and there's lots of cool lore added to this game. So yeah, that's why it's higher up on my list, and that's what makes it number 1. And again, just to be clear, all these games are neck and neck. I would highly recommend you play all 3 of them and experience them that way. I think that's just the best way to play them. It's cool to see the progression from 2016 to Eternal, and then kind of the difference of Dark Ages is pretty cool. So anyway, thanks so much for watching this video, and let me know your own personal ranking of this trilogy, and I'll see you in the next video.